Okay, good evening, or anytime you're watching this recording. This is a live recording on how to design graphics using your phone. Okay, this is a paid class, and so I'm going to be very detailed in everything I do. So now this is your default size, the default size Pixel Lab gives to you. When you want to design, the first thing you have to dictate, you have to know the size of the image you want or the size of the job. What do you want to design? Flyers, handbills, posters, whatever. What is it you want to design? You have to know the size. And in case you're designing in A5, you have to go to Google and search what is the size of A5 in pixels. You have to get that size in pixels and then input it here. For instance, the size of A5 in pixels. Oh, sorry, not OpenPLP file. Image size. Let's go back. Okay. So now image size. So the size of the size of A5 in pixel is 1248. Sorry, 14. The size of A5 in pixel is 1748 by 2480. 2480. So this is the size 1748 by 2480. Now this size goes for if you want to design church flyer, you want to design flyers that will likely be printed. Is that okay? So this is the size you use. So after doing this, the next thing you consider is your the next thing you have to consider is, let me be sure this is recording. Okay, it's recording. I'm going to turn this off so we don't get distractions. I'm going to turn all of this off so we don't get distractions. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to consider now is my background. How do I want my background to be? Okay, so I have a template here I'm working with. So I'll just look at the template and produce exactly what they did there. So now, like I said earlier, I don't like working with this default background because it doesn't give me the liberty to play around it. So this background, I'll just turn it to transparent. So I'll bring in my shape. So I'll just fit it in. Now let me bring this one to the center. This one should be centralized. I want to believe that's the center. So now I'll change the color to blue. Okay. So now let's go. So this color, I'll change it to blue. Okay. Now, then I'll copy this shape and bring it down. So I'll change this one to white. Let me make it pure white. What we have there is not pure white. Okay. So now, this is not all for the background. So I want to play with this background a bit. I'll bring image from gallery. Okay, so let me use this one. Okay, so it's here. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to send this image to the back. So you see to back, send it to back. Now this one is covering it. So what I will just do is to reduce the opacity of the image in the front. The opacity means how bright or how dark it is. Have you seen that? So just reduce it. Let's just leave it like this. Now the idea is we want people to know that there's something there, but that thing is not the focus. Whatever is there is just a background image or something. Have you seen that? So let me crop this image because I don't want this black part to show. So I'll just crop this. I'll crop this. So I'll lift it up. So we're good. Okay. So now we have this. So we bring this up here. Have you seen that? So now this one comes up and picks from this other end, and this one drags down. So you've seen that. Now I can also play with this so that it looks as if it's blending into it. So now let me do what I just said. The white, I'm talking about this white shape. I'll play with it so that it looks as if the image, this one up and this one down, is blending into themselves. So how would I do that? I'll use my eraser tool. So what I'll do is I'll make it hairy and increase this one. So what I'll do is I'll just erase here. Okay. Have you seen that? So it now looks as if it is blended. There is no, that straight line that demarcates it is not there. So I can make this more better, or I could choose to leave it this way. So what I will just do next is that for the opacity of the white, I will reduce it. I will increase it to the minimum. So I think I will still increase the opacity of this one. Okay. So let's leave it at 90. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, now in this design I have here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speakers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to just put, um, okay, I'm going to bring in another shape. I'll just reduce the shape here. I'll just increase it this way. And then I'll change the color. Okay, so that is it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to change. Okay, I think we're cool with this. Now, if you observe, my white has to go up a bit to cover up for this transparent space here. So my white will go up a bit, or I drag this down a bit. Let me drag this down a bit while this cover sets, and my white goes up a bit. Okay, so we've achieved what we want. So the next thing is I'm going to just, now before I bring in the text, I'm trying to do exactly what they have here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in another shape. So I'll just copy the shape, copy. When you copy something in Pixel Lab, it goes up automatically. You have to bring it down to where you want it to be. Okay, so we are at it. Okay, like you can see now, I'll still have to reduce it a bit. So I'll copy and bring this one here. I still have to reduce this one to a bit. So I'm going to reduce this a bit too. Are you getting anything? So I'll reduce this too, like you have here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to change the colors because in the design I'm working with here, their color is yellow. This shape has yellow color. So now we have this, so yellow color. So, and this one is blue. You will understand it better when I bring in the text. So what I'm going to do, I'll start bringing in the text now. So I'll add the text now. Okay, Student Union Office. Okay, I can't use voice typing because of the OTG connected. So I'll just type it here. Students, Students Union Students Union Office of. Okay. Okay, so let's go again. Students Union Office of. Okay, so I'll just this text size, I'll reduce the text size. So let's say I'll reduce it to, let me leave it at 12. Okay, 12 is too large according to what they have here. So let me leave it at 10. So I'll copy and do almost the same thing. I'll just complete what they wrote here. So what they have here is the secretary in collaboration. The secretary in collaboration. Okay. Now copy again. In collaboration with Netizens ICT. With Netizens ICT. Okay, so we have that. Now I'm going to zoom in so that I see what I'm doing. I'm going to zoom in so that I see what I'm doing. So I can zoom in till 500. So what do I want to do? I want to align this and make sure all the text, everything is on the same line. I align this. I can use this to align it. So I'll just select this so that I can move this. Okay, let me move it here. We're good now. So I'll just use this to align. Okay. Okay, so then the spacing here is much, so I'll just shrink it a bit. Okay, so let's zoom out. So we're done with that. We'll just group it now. How do you group? You see this dots here, you click it, then you select what you want to group. Select it. You select and then you group it. You click here again. Do you want to merge the selected objects? Okay. So with that, we've grouped all of those. They cannot be edited anymore. All of them are now in one single layer. So now we're done with that. We move to the next thing on the flyer. So the next thing on the flyer is presents. Text presents. Presents. Okay, so I'm going to move this now. I'm going to change the font size. So let me look for a cursives because they used a cursive there. I saw something as it doesn't look like okay, I think it does. This is the font they used, but it's not all that close to. But we can use this. So we will not get the exact font because we don't have the exact font they use, and then we're not working with the same elements. What makes designs why two people can do the same design is because they are exposed to the same elements. Is that okay? So I'm using the different elements trying to create a prototype of what they have already done here. So I'll just centralize this. How do you centralize? Use relative position, centralize it. Okay, but I'm not comfortable with this font, so I'll keep playing around with fonts till I'm able to get what I want. Something close to. It has to be a cursive font that is expandable. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let me use this, even though it's not exactly. Okay, so present, what did they present? Unio Tech Advantage 101. Unio, okay. So I'm going to change the font to the font we used earlier. Remember when you're designing, you don't use more than one font. So recent, Open Sans, that's the font. This font is Open Sans, so we're not going to play around with any other font. We're just going to rely on. Have you seen it's looking more like a design now? But then we've still not started. I'm just going to bold this. Okay. So let me copy this. Unio Tech Advantage. Advantage 1.0. Okay. So I'm going to increase the size because that's the main message. And then I'm going to change this font. I'm going to change this font. It might likely, okay, so let me change this font because it's not bold. It's not as bold as I want it to be. So let me use Roboto Black. Or let me go down and use another font down. I have a bold font. Montevi Demo, how are you? Okay, I think Montevi Demo. Let me check. Yeah, Balu Black. Okay, so yeah, beautiful. I'm going to use Balu Black. So fonts, I'm using recent. I'll go to Barlow Black. Okay, so it will give you that feeling of boldness. Unio Tech Advantage 1.0. Okay, so we've achieved that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the theme. So let's put the theme now. So I'll just copy this shape, copy it. Remember I said I have a prototype here that I'm working with. So exactly what they did there is what I'm trying to replicate here. So we centralize this. I'm going to still reduce this a bit. So let me copy and edit. I'll just write theme. Okay. So now I'll reduce the font size. Let me leave it at 15. Then I'll change the color. Are you getting anything? I'll change the color to this, to blue. Do they have blue here? I think they have black there. Okay. Yeah, it's black they had. But then I'm going to change. Now, this typeface, I'm going to change the font in this typeface. That's this font is too bold. So I'm going to just change it to and use normal Barlow. I'm not going to, yeah, I used Barlow. So let me use Barlow medium. Or let me use Barlow medium or Barlow bold. Yeah, let me use Barlow bold. So it's not too thick. Okay, so the next thing is now the theme, bridging the gap. Bridging the gap. So they have a, then equipping Nigerian students. Nigerian students. Okay. Okay, so if you observe, I'm going to increase the text size. So let's leave it at 20 and see. Okay, we're leaving it at 20. So I'm going to change the color now. Observe what I'll do to the color. I'll change the color. Now, all of them do not have the same color. So bridging the gap is yellow in color. Let me see, does it pick? Okay. Beautiful, yellow. Now, while the other one is white in color. So I'll highlight the part I want. So I'll change this to white. Have you seen that? Okay, so I'm going to bring this down a bit because it's actually, okay, let me bring this down. Beautiful. So now I'm going to just adjust this, copy this, and bring it down here. So the topic continues with essential tech skills. Okay, with essential text skills, have you seen the color effects that we did there affected this one? So what we're going to do is very simple. Just go to color and everything is highlighted already. Change everything to white. So copy. So the last one is okay. Contemporary careers. Contemporary careers. Okay, so this text skill we had four. Okay, so we're good with that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight align everything now. Video Tech Week, we're moving it up a bit. We're moving this up a bit. Then we'll centralize it. Very important. In typography, I talked to you about all of those. Centralizing what you're doing so that everything aligns. So this theme, undo. Okay. So this theme will be somewhere here, and then we'll centralize it. Okay, so this one will be somewhere here, and we centralize it too. Okay, so let me just move it a bit so that it will fit in. Okay, so beautiful, we're making progress. So now this theme, centralizes. We centralize this too. We centralize this. So we're done with the hop parts. So now the next thing we're going down. We're going down. So, but down that we're going to, we can't really do much because they have pictures there, and our design does not give us provision for. We do not have the pictures of the people there. Is that okay? And then I don't want this video to be too long, but then I'll just move on to other details there. So I'll just copy this. Over here in this yellow box, they have the dates. So the date is 14th December, 14th December 2023. Okay, so I'll just increase this so that it fits. Okay, then over here they have the time. They said it's 10 a.m. So I'll bring it here. I'll also change the color. Now observe, before I change the color, some people will leave it here like this, but it's not visible. It's about visibility right now. So you have to use colors that will make what you're doing visible. So beautiful. So now I'll just play around with this. I'll just tweak it a little. Okay. Undo. Okay. So I'll just zoom in so that I know if they are rightly aligned. So I think this one is larger, so I'll shrink it a bit. I'll zoom in again so that I can have exactly what I want. I think I have what I want now. This one is smaller, so I'll just reduce it, increase it a bit. Yeah, I have what I want now. So I'll zoom out. Okay, so I'm bringing my 10 a.m. down here. Beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, they have a line. They have a line. How do I do my line in Pixel Lab? I use shapes to do my line. So what I do is I reduce the shape to the barest minimum and then I give it a color. The color here is white, is blue rather. Okay. That line is too heavy, is still heavy, so I'll still reduce it a bit. Let me zoom in so we can see clearly what we're doing. You can still zoom. Okay, fine. So I'm reducing it. Beautiful. Zoom out. Beautiful. So that's exactly what we want to achieve. So now I'll centralize this now. I'll still centralize it. So we're good now. So the next thing I'm going to put right now is, oh, this is too large. I'll reduce it a bit and centralize it. Now, we are going to put location icon. I think I should have that in my gallery. So from gallery, it's something I must have downloaded before now. So I'll have downloads. Yeah, not change. So I have downloads. I'm looking for location right now. You should see beautiful. I have this. Okay, so I'll bring this in and then I'll change the color. I taught you elements when I was teaching the theoretical part. So this is an element in design. So theirs is black here. So I'm going to reduce mine to the barest minimum. Ouch, this line is not here. It is below the dates. Just below the dates. Okay, and then let me centralize it. So I'm going to reduce this. Okay, I'm going to increase it a bit. Okay, so now I have, they said the venue is Oyoma. Onyama. Sorry if that's your language. Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu Hall. Town Campus. Okay, comma. So the color for that is black. Okay, and then we centralize it. Always take note of how I place emphasis on centralizing. When you don't centralize it, your work will become scattered. Everything has to align. Alignment is the main thing right now. So now the next thing I'll do is I'll copy this. I'll copy this. Then they have University of Uyo. University of Uyo. Okay. So I'm going to centralize this right now. Okay. So for inquiries, call. There's something they did to that for more inquiries, call this. So I'm going to do it for mine too. Copy. For all, okay, all capitals. For more inquiries, call 070-633-569-22. Okay. So now there's something they did to this, and Pixel App gives us that opportunity to do it also. The space. So you can space letters or words. So what they did here was that they spaced letters. So I'm going to space my letters. You've seen that. Let me space it a bit again. Okay, so I'm going to centralize this also. Now take note, decentralize is different from this align. You'll see the S they use in subsequent designs. So you centralize it, bring this down. Okay, so the next thing they have here is powered by netizens. No, let me not use that. Let me copy this. Okay, powered. Powered by. Okay. So now I'm just going to stop this design any moment from now here. And then in subsequent videos, I'm going to include other things that are in this design, but I do not have them right here. So this design is almost complete. So I'm going to stop this video right here, and then we would continue in subsequent videos where we would put the pictures of the speakers, and I think that's it basically, and the logos of all these companies. So that's where we're going to stop the video for today. So if there is a question you have, do well to ask.